You're late.
Yeah, I know. I had a bit of bother with the old bike.
Well, what about this rehearsal?
Well, that's all right. I'm in no hurry if you are. What's the blue pencil's the matter with you?
Well, I understand. Thank you.
Yeah.
I understand you want to start with some of these funny occupations.
That's right. We're going to start with some funny occupations. I'll tell you what we'll do. We start with a bunger up a rat nose. That's the first one I ever did, eh? Hey, what's the matter? It's all right?
By the way,
eh?
This letter just came for you.
Blimey, I bet I know who that's from. Woof! I'll read it later on. My brother said, eh? Silly. Now, I really ought to tell you about the job I got. To look at me, you wouldn't think it true. I don't look like a fella that has to be hard-hearted. Well, I'm not. But this is what I have to do. I'm a bloke what bungs up rat holes. I'm really. I'm a rat hole bunger up for two and all. And when I speak of rat holes, I don't mean babies' rat holes. I mean holes what's gnawed by rats right through the wall. I've had and heard some narrow squeaks in my time. Though I don't look brave or very fond of strife, still all the time there's rat holes, there'll be bungers up a rat hole. So it looks as though I've got a job for life. Do you remember that one 15 years ago, eh? Here's another one. With all the silly jobs, well, you know I know a few. And I know a chap who's really got a funny job to do. He's working in the kitchen. He's of great importance there. Because he renovates the rissoles that have got the worse for wear. Oh, blimey, that strikes a note, doesn't it? Yet he's a rubber-up and a rounder-all for rissoles. He's a rissole rubber-upper, get that plain? You see, a rissole's like a lady when her looks are getting shady. Well, a little make-up makes them young again. Now, a rissole when it's old looks kind of nasty. But it doesn't when we serve it up to you. Because when on your plate you find it, with them parsley stuck behind it, why, the bloomin' rissole looks as good as you. Now, there's a plaster moulder's yard about a mile from here. Well, my old Uncle Teddy has a job that may sound queer. It really is quite different to what other people do. But it really is a clever job. I am not a kidding of you. 'Cause he's a caster up of alabaster plaster. Well, don't get me mixed up with this one, whatever you do. He's an alabaster plaster caster, see? And he doesn't mix with water, common powder into mortar, for an alabaster plasterer is he. Now, if he were merely mixing for cementing, he would stir it in a mixer as of old. But to prove his cast, this master casts his plaster alabaster in an alabaster plaster caster's mold. Thank you very much indeed. Now, see what my brother's got to say. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll read it over here to my friend. Look, he says, "My dear Jack, here I am again, and I hope you are too. Thanks for your letter. I like it when you write with a piece of wood dipped in petrol. It seems to light up the words. Do you remember the cat we called George? Well, it had kittens the other day, so now we call her Georgina. I'm waiting up to put her out, but she hasn't come in yet. Nearly every house in our road has a television aerial, and it adds quite a tone to the district. Some of them have even got television sets. That's the snobs, you see. The missus says she doesn't want TV. She says it's bad enough to have to listen to some of them without having to see them as well. She never could keep up the payments anyway. There is no more news now, except to tell you we have moved into a new house next to the glue factory. So there is always a horrible smell from your loving brother, Tim." Wait a minute. Whoa, P.S. Cousin Alf, who is a commercial traveller, is now travelling in ladies' underwear, and he done half look silly. I bet he always was silly, but Sid's all right. He's got a job at Covent Garden, eh? And I want you to join this thing when I have a go. I say oi and you say oi quick. OK, Bob, let it go, son. Shoving about all the time, he is. Pushing round our barrows in the market every day. You can see a lot of us about. People gather round and they get in the flipping way, and that's the time you'll always hear a shout. Oi! 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 Mind your backs, get out of it. Make way for me better and me low. Second time. Oi! Oi! Mind your back, get out of it. Can't you see you're blocking up the road? They never give a hoot if I say Sissel after you. To get results I always have to shout a bit. If they give me any lip, then I just tears them off a strip. Oi! Oi! Mind your backs, get out of it. Now you got it right this time. With the band, okay. Oi! Oi! Mind your backs, get out of it. Make way for me Vera and me low. Oi! Oi! Mind your backs, get out of it. Can't you see you're blocking up the road? They never budge an inch when I say Sissel after you. To get results I always have to shout a bit. If they give me any lip, then I just tears them off a strip. Oi! Oi! Mind your backs, get out of it, get out of it. Thank you very much. You know, but my brother Sid's very serious. He says, I know you think the people who had the rawest deal were those who just had to carry on and take it on the chin without being able to dish it out. Yes, well, he means the civilians in the big cities and towns, like the people of Stepney in East London, you know, to whom this banshee wail was a regular nightmare. Night after night they left their homes to gather in shelters, often improvised on the railway arches and in damp cellars, where a devoted band of wardens and welfare workers ministered to their needs. Mostly they made their own entertainment, and somehow even the grimmest of surroundings miraculously assumed the atmosphere of a club.
Because we've got an old friend here, Robert Easton.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. And my old friend, the grocer, too. How are you? Well?
I think
good. Well, now that I'm here, I think you'd probably like me to sing you a song, and I can't think of a better subject than that old river out there. Doesn't care for anything. Bombs or the lot. Old Father Thames. High in the hills, down in the dales, happy and fancy-free. Old Father Thames keeps rolling along, down to the mighty sea. There's some folks who always worry, and some folks who never care. But in this world of rush and hurry, it matters neither here nor there. Be steadfast and realistic, don't hanker for gold or gems. Be carefree and optimistic, like old Father Thames. High in the hills, down in the dales, happy and fancy-free. Old Father Thames keeps rolling along, down to the mighty sea. What does he know? What does he care? Nothing for you or me. Old Father Thames keeps rolling along, down to the mighty sea. Some folks who always worry, and some folks who never care. But in this world of rush and hurry, it matters neither here nor there. Be steadfast and realistic, don't hanker for gold or gems. Be carefree and optimistic, like old Father Thames. High in the hills, down in the dales, happy and fancy-free. Old Father mighty sea. What does he know? What does he care? Nothing for you or me. Old Father Thames keeps rolling along down to the mighty sea. He never seems to worry, doesn't care for fortunes or fame. He never seems to hurry, but he gets there just the same. Kingdoms may come, kingdoms may go, whatever the end may be. Old Father Thames keeps rolling along down to the